Hello. Hi, and welcome to another episode of What's on Your Mind. I'm your host, Nimade, or that African butterfly, as I'm known on social media. Here we talk about different things that's on our minds. But I have to admit, this month, there's only one thing on my mind, BTS. Actually, that's a lie. It's more like this year. That's the only thing that's on my mind. But especially this month because it is their anniversary month. It is Festa, their 13th anniversary. So I'm having a lot of fun talking to fellow ARMY and fellow people who love BTS as well, who have been taken over by BTS fever. So I'm so excited I have Savannah with me today. Hi, Savannah. Oh, can you hear me? Are you muted? I feel like I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
back. There we go. Yes. Okay. We
Oh,
can hear you
great.
now. Hi, Savannah.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Would you like to tell everybody just a little bit about yourself?
Yes. So my name is Savannah. I am a new baby Army fan. And I fell down the BTS rabbit hole just a couple months ago, and it's been a wild ride. I'm a bookstagrammer turned Army.
I love that because those are two of my favorite things anyways. I'm always on
Yes.
Book Talk, Army Talk. So I'm not surprised I found your account and I'm glad that I did. I've been loving your journey and your videos. What triggered this? What set you off?
Yeah. Well, I knew who they were, but I only knew their couple of hit songs. And so what really started this all is I saw an interview that Zane Lowe did with them, and I watched it and I remember just thinking, wow, they're so humble and kind and we're so shocked that Zane had listened to their album and they were talking about the music and it was just a really amazing interview and I was like, why have I never listened to their music or really delved into it? So um and I pride myself on a music guru. I love concerts, I love music. So I was like, I should start into this. I should listen to their music. So I put on their new album and I just fell in love with it. It is so amazing. And then it just really went from there. Suddenly I was like, and they have a Netflix live show. I should watch that. And now the concert is being broadcasted into theaters. I should go to
Yeah.
that. So it's just been one thing after another after another.
It quickly consumes you. I meant to just learn their names and now they're like my entire life. And I was just like, how did this happen? Especially because I haven't been like a huge fandom person before. Like I love Beyonce, I love her hard, but I've never like
Yes.
claimed to be Beehive, but like this is
Yeah.
Army just sort of sucks you in like the best way. And have you found that like as baby Army, that it's really like welcoming and everybody's just like wants to help you share their love of BTS?
Yeah, yeah. I am blown away by how kind and gracious and welcoming people are. I was not anticipating that. I think I fell in love with all 7 of them, right?
Yeah.
But then I've really fallen in love with Army and how the community is and how kind and gracious and the freebies and the outpouring of love and me posting on social media, I didn't anticipate as many people that have been commenting or reaching out or helping with new information or really wanting to like be friends.
Mhm.
So it's been phenomenal. I'm shocked still.
I think it's also because we get such a bad rep. Like Army, for some reason, has a bad rep
Yeah.
for like no good reason. Because the only time Army has problems is when other people start it. I say we are the fandom of like don't start none their own be none. Like, but the problem
Yeah.
is that people will like disrespect the band and think Army's just gonna be like, oh whatever. But Army's on top of it, like demanding
Yeah.
apologies, having retractions, like they are on top of protecting the band. And I think that's a great thing. It's unfortunate that we get a bad rep because of it. But those who actually take the time to like delve into Army, it's like really such a fun group.
It is, yeah. I've seen like there are some folks I think everywhere inevitably that will have like some negative videos, but I think it's really they're doing it for the clicks. They're doing it for attention, and that's not what this actually is. At least what
Mhm.
I've been exposed to and fallen down the rabbit hole and how I choose to exist too. So Yeah.
Yeah. Have you noticed a difference between like when you're interacting with Korean fans versus like international fans? I know like within the fandom there's like I think they're called like the K Diamonds and the Idols, whatever. But because a large part of the fandom is so international now compared to K-pop, which is usually relatively within the Korean bubble. And so it's very interesting seeing how the different like the fandom reacts to things differently, where it's like within Korea versus like internationally.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had too many folks like reach out to me or engage with me that might, and it's also kind of hard to know who's
Yeah.
international and who's not on Instagram, but there's been a lot of folks um more on this side of, I've had people from just North America, South America, really, I think is where my outreach is getting, and
Yeah.
maybe some like UK areas, but I haven't experienced or interacted with anyone over there. It's been interesting to see, like, when I was in the movie theater, how folks exist in a concert space, in other
Mhm.
countries. It's been really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's interesting to me, like just the cultural differences that stand out with the fandom,
yeah,
and especially because they are so global now. I think a lot of us have adopted them and they're like, oh well, they're a band of the world, but sometimes we forget, like, no, they're still a K-pop band. Like a lot of the things that we
yeah,
like about them are specifically K-pop, and sometimes it frustrates
yeah,
me because I feel like people want to separate them from that now that they're global, and I'm like, stop trying to colonize BTS. Like they're still a Korean band. Like they're still very, like a lot of the things that we love about them are very much Korean. And it's weird because I
yeah,
feel like sometimes people feel embarrassed to say they like K-pop, or like they're like, oh, I don't really like K-pop, I just like BTS. But it's like, just embrace it. Like, how about we expand our worldview of what K-pop is, and instead of being limited by it and embarrassed by it, be like, oh, this is actually a cool genre of entertainment and music.
yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's been really cool to learn more about South Korea and culturally what's the clear differences. It's really cool to see. And I'm in the K-pop realm. It's so wild and fun and just accepting of it, right? I agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, yeah,
And I think something I also love about being like part of BTS right now is like literally feeling like you're part of history, because there's so many things that they're doing and like these moments, you're like, oh, these are moments that are going to be part of history. And like being able to be like, oh, I was a part of this, or like I was involved or active in it, I think is cool. And then especially like just seeing them within that culture right now, like as they're moving, because with K-pop, they're traditionally very young groups. Like they're
yeah,
early, like they're in their teens, early 20s, and they cycle out. That's why they have generations, like I think BTS is like third generation K-pop. So they cycle out. But it's so interesting now because they're obviously older, they're still around, which isn't really heard of in the K-pop groups. So
yeah,
like over a career, there's a lot of people like, you're too old, you're too old. And then like we're all on the other side, internationally, like, what are you talking about? They're only in their 30s, they're still super young. And it's just interesting watching also like the idol image that they have over there, which is very strict, like what they can do, what they can't do. Like they're truly meant to be seen as like idols, not actual humans. And so it's
yeah,
interesting watching BTS try to be seen as human. And it's easier for us on the international side. They're like, of course they're going to date. Of course they're going to go out. Of course they're going to do all these things. But it's really just so foreign. So foreign. It's really like, just not as accepted over there. And I feel like
yeah.
sometimes I forget until they do something that seems really normal to me. Like Jungkook's, did you see Jungkook's live the other day?
Yes, I
I
did.
loved it. It
Yes.
was so funny. But it was so, like, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I love when he gets drunk on live. They crack me
Yeah.
up. But the Korean fans do not like it, and they were very upset. And I always
Yeah.
forget until he goes live and they all flip out that I'm like, oh yeah, I forget that that's not okay for you, because it seems so normal to us.
Yeah, there's so many things. That's why it's been really cool to be in this space and to learn so much, because I really didn't know that much culturally, like expectations and what are like do's and don'ts over there. So it's been really cool to learn more. But it's fascinating to me in this realm of like learning more and more. I'm like, what do you mean they have to like apologize if they've, were seen with someone that
Right. That's
we're dating? Because
crazy.
over here that's normal to us. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been very interesting, yeah, to learn more and understand what all goes into them as idols. Yeah.
I think after this tour, we're going to start seeing them in relationships. And I, for one, well, I'm going to be devastated when RM Namjoon announces this. Like, the logical part of me, of course, wants him to be happy and find someone. The fangirl in me will probably sob all weekend with like vodka, but
Yeah.
it will it'll be interesting to see them all get in relationships and how the fandom reacts to it. Like, I'm really curious. And I just, by nature, I love studying like people and studying like situations. It's part of why I love reality TV. Like, it's a sociology study to me watching reality television. So I feel like I
Yeah.
do that a lot with the fandom as well. Like, I'm just curious at how, like, the reactions of the fans and how different things happen. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to go when they start announcing relationships.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm new to this, but I'm very excited to see what all happens. It's like a new thing every day, and me trying to get through 13 years
Right?
of material is
There's so
wild.
much. There's so much, but I love
I
it.
know.
And I like it too because it's like I love recruiting people. I consider myself an army recruit. And I like I like that there's so many different avenues that you can sort of like, if you know the person, pick which way to go. It's like my
Yeah,
mom, I knew wouldn't jump into the music right away because she couldn't understand it, but I knew she would love laughing at them at the variety show and all their games. So I started her on
yeah,
that, like went with personality and then the music. But it's also interesting too talking to people because some people, because I discover them through their music and I just naturally assume everyone does. And I forget that they don't. Like, some people have discovered them through their ads, like, because the guys do a lot of
yeah,
promotional stuff. Some people have discovered them through like just quirky interviews. Like you said, you saw an interview. A lot of people have
yeah.
come on through the Hot Ones interview. That was
Yes.
hilarious.
So funny. I mean, I came on right when that was all happening, and I probably watched that like 10 times,
So
if
many
not
times.
more.
It's
I
so
know.
funny.
So
I just
funny.
I just love all their different personalities too.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me, like seeing people's biases and how the different biases interact as well. I'm always like curious, like how, because within the groups they have the different friendships. And I don't know if
Yes,
you're a
yeah.
shipper, but I'm obsessed with all their friendships. Not in a romantic way, but in like their friendship ways. But I like how they all have different types of friendships. And then
Yeah.
they also like changes over the years. Like, it's very interesting to me.
Yeah, yeah. It's been really cool to, again, like 13 years worth of material to dig into, but it's been really cool to see how their different relationships with one another interact and how those bonds were formed. And they've been through so much together. It's been really cool to see how things have like changed and morphed over time too with them all. But yeah, and I mean, I'm new, but my biases they they started out as one thing and then they've kind of changed.
Have they? Okay, so who did you start out with?
Jungkook, yeah, that
Okay.
was the first. I feel like a lot of people that I've met and talked to, they've been like, "Oh yeah, he's like the entry person a
For
lot
a
of the
lot of
time."
people, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then it was Namjoon.
My boo.
Yes, yes, and now Jimin and his hair, I can't.
Mm.
It's
The Jimin effect is really happening
it's
this
real.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his I mean, they're all so talented, but, like, his artistry, it's really cool to see him just move around.
Yeah. I love that about them. Like, you can tell that they're really like meant to be on the stage.
Yeah.
Especially like Jimin and like J-Hope, like meant
Yeah.
to be on stage. And it's so awesome seeing their personalities, especially because the thing that I feel like has really made people like latch on to BTS is that, like, in addition to knowing the performers on stage, because we see them perform, and we're like, yay. But because we know so much about them behind the scenes, because of the reality shows and the games and stuff, like, it makes you feel more connected when you're watching them. So like, you don't just feel like, oh, you're watching performance. You're like, oh, I'm watching my buddies. Like, there's my buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's my buddy Namjoon performing as RM on stage. And then like,
Yes.
there's my buddy
Yes.
um V performing, or Taeyang performing as V. And so we're able to separate them, especially people who like dive a little bit deeper, but it makes it like it makes you have a stronger connection watching them. But then it also like, it makes them more impressive to me. You know what I mean? Like knowing
Yeah.
how incredibly like goofy and silly they are, like they're the silliest group of men ever. So then seeing them lock in for rehearsals and performances, it makes it like all the more impressive. Or like knowing some of them are super shy. Like Jimin is actually incredibly shy. Like
Yeah.
when he first started doing like their solos, and they had to go on interviews and stuff, like Suga went to interviews with him because Jinmin was so shy about doing them by himself. And you would never know that seeing him on stage. You would never know that.
No, no, you would not. The way he exists on the stage is kind
Right.
of
It's like he was meant
wild.
to be there. Or like
Yeah.
Jin with his like kiss blowing, like his ears get bright red. Jin is actually super duper shy, but like it makes it more impressive, like seeing those moments because, you know, they're able to push past them for their love of performing. And I just
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
And then, and I think too, I love seeing them at like interviews or not interviews, like award shows when they run away from the
Yeah.
mic because none of them want to speak because you just expect a group of performers to all be like fighting for the mic. Instead, they're all like, no, thank you. I don't want it. Like, no, June, take
Yeah.
it. But I think that's part of why they're successful. Like they're very much in their roles and know their parts and lean on each other.
Yeah, yeah. I think the funniest videos is like them being like, "No, no, you take you take the mic. I don't want to. No."
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I have you found that when you like watch their performances, do you have a hard time seeing the performer versus like who they are because you know them more, or do you like lock into the performance?
I think it's both. I think it kind of switches in and out because I think they have moments where I'm like, "Whoa, I'm seeing just the performer. This is like phenomenal. Wow." But then there are times where I'm like, "Aw." Like
Hmm.
that's when like you see like their individual like funny characteristics or they do something goofy or something like you can still see them. So I feel like I can see both. I can like piece apart person and performer, but then I also feel like yeah.
Yeah. I think that like part of, well, not I think I know, a huge part of when they were blowing up was during their like love yourself period. I don't know if you've tapped into that, like the Wings, Idol, all of that.
I'm tapping in, but I don't know very much.
It's a journey. No, no, no.
It
Well, I
is
was
a
just gonna ask,
journey.
like, because part of what I love about that period is they were so big on like loving yourself and like accepting
Yeah.
yourself and like using them to love yourself, which I didn't even really think of until they said it. But I find myself doing that a lot because I think sometimes it's easier to give other people grace for like their mistakes and their flaws and their different things, but it's harder to give yourself that same
Yes.
grace. And like I, for example, am a major klutz. I hate it. I'm a klutz. I hit everything. I break things. I have bruises on myself. I don't know where they came from. And I get really tough on myself about it. But like RM's such a klutz and I would watch him. I would find myself like comforting him, like, don't worry about it, because he would get flustered about being so klutzy. But like through comforting him, like I started doing it to myself and being like, it's not that big of a deal. Because I think also like
Yeah.
seeing other people have it be not a big deal to him helped me because in my mind, because you know how it is when you have a flaw, like you think everyone's noticing, everyone's upset about it. And sometimes just seeing other people be like, it's not a big deal helps you with that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that a lot. And even for my own self, I feel like it's this whole like BTS journey has been a real like it's been a rabbit hole, but it almost like came at the right time for me where I've had like a really rough couple of years and it just felt like forest fire after forest fire in my own personal life. And this fell into my lap in this like really healing time in my life. And so I've like sort of kind of dug into the love yourself kind of that era of music and it's just been really healing to be in this process and to see them, you know, mess up or see the like funny little compilations of them like falling.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be so embarrassing in front
Yeah.
of however many people. Like that's yeah, but seeing like their grace throughout all of it and them work through their things, especially in those early days, figuring everything out. So yeah, it's been very healing.
Yeah, and that is something that they say, like BTS finds you when you need them. And
Yeah.
I talked a little bit about last time, but that's how it was for me as well, because I liked their music from 2017, but I didn't really dive into the fandom until last year, at the end of 2024, the beginning of last year. And it was right at the right time because I lost two family members within a couple months of each other, and it was really rough. And like I had BTS and Jin to help guide me through that. That's when Jin became my bias is RM, Namjoon, but my bias record is Jin. I love Jin to pieces. But part of it is because of that. Like he was the funny man that I needed during that time because he was doing Run Jin. The rest of them were still in the
Yeah.
military. So his episodes, like getting by to those Tuesdays, helped me get by like months. So I think a lot of people have some stories like that where they just latched on and they, even right now, because honestly, the world is a dumpster fire. Like it is madness out there.
I know. I
Like,
know.
and I feel like the only time I feel like okay is when I'm in like Magic Shop World. For those who may not know, like BTS is like they have it, it's called the Magic Shop. It's where we go into and we do our BTS thing. And I feel like the only time that it's not madness is when I just like zoom in and like just to force myself to be happy for a little while. Because it's like the minute you take those off and look around, dumpster fire of madness.
Yeah, the world is very dumpster fiery right now, and it can feel really like hopeless a lot of the time. And even in my own personal life, and then the state of the world, this has been a very hopeful place, even with how like accepting and like loving army has been just like gathering around me. It has like
Mhm.
reminded me that the world is a good place, even though there's a
Yes.
lot in it that we want to change and that's not good. But like people, like humanity is still good. There are still good people out there doing good things. And the amount of like outreaching of like hands or like help in this
Yeah.
from army has been really phenomenal. I just am blown away. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I love it. It's interesting seeing how much it's growing, and it's also interesting to me because I feel like as big as BTS is, it could be bigger. Because sometimes, especially
Yeah.
when you're in the bubble, you're like, "Oh, everyone knows BTS. Everyone's talking about BTS." But then you like step outside for a moment, and you're like, "Do you know BTS?" And they're like, "Oh, I think I've heard of them." And you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
more people to recruit." But like, it's just
Yes.
interesting because I feel like they're so huge, but they literally could get and probably will get even bigger, and that's wild to think about.
Yeah, even like in my like DMs, people are DMing me are like, I've just fallen down this rabbit hole too. So it's like every single day, it's like more and more and more. And yeah, they could be so much bigger. It's really cool though to see like the historic moments that they're having even right now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think they have I think they're gonna get bigger. I'm really this album to me and going through all of their history of all of their music is just phenomenal, and I don't know how it didn't fall into my lap before.
Right, right, yeah. What's been very interesting also has been the solos. So, because within like
Yes.
BTS world, there's ARMY, right? And then we all have our biases. There's OT7s who love everybody. But then because of the military break, they all did like solo work as well. With the expectation always that they were going to come back together. But during their solo times, they got a lot of solo stands. Lord help
Yeah.
us with the solo stands. Actually, no, let me take that back. Some solo stands are fine. Some solo stands are like biases. Like they love their guys, they don't really care about the band. And I'm fine with that. Like you don't have to like the band just because you like Jungkook or just because you like Jin. But the toxic solo fans, oh my Lanta, oh my God, they drive me nuts. Like, have you had any toxic solo fans encounter or seen them online?
I
Like the
have
ones who are like,
not.
they should quit the band. Like they don't need the band. They need to be without by themselves. Like they drive me insane.
Oh my gosh, no, I have not found my way into that
Good.
space.
Stay
Hopefully I
away from that
won't,
space.
but that's wild because I think that like we can love and appreciate them in their own solos, and I'm excited for I think it can be such a beautiful thing of them coming together and doing their own solos because I think that gave them I mean, at least
Yeah.
maybe me and what I know, I think it gave them a lot of freedom to go experiment and learn more and grow more so that when they came back together, then we got this amazing album. I encourage that. I love that,
Yeah,
but I also like love them together and I love them all each
same,
so much.
same. Well, that's
Yeah.
the annoying part. It's like you don't have to separate. Like you can love all of them together, and even if you have your favorites, like you don't have to want the band to be apart. And I think the thing that frustrates me the most, well, two things. One, and I'll try not to get in a huge soapbox about it, but the Jin solos have been driving us extra crazy lately, which is annoying because the Jin solos used to be like, so it used to be that the maknae solos, for those who don't know, the maknaes are, it's a term for younger brother in Korean. So it was Jimin, V, Taeyong, and Jungkook. Their solos stands were a lot. But the Hungs, which are the older guys, Namjoon, J-Hope, Suga slash Yugi, and Jin, their solo stands were fine. But somewhere along the way in the beginning of this year, Jin solo stands crossed over, and now we're all like, "Oh my god!" Because they just like have become so like whiny about him,
Mhm.
and they're like, "He needs to leave the band. Nobody loves him. The band hates him," and it's very frustrating because you can tell. I think that's the most frustrating thing with the toxic ones, not all solo stands. The most frustrating thing with the toxic ones are that they completely dismiss the fact that the person they're a fan of loves the band. Like that is their
Yeah.
family. Like to say Jin should quit the band when it's literally his favorite thing in the world. I'm like, that's actually not really being a great fan with you or wishing for his worst nightmare. And so that's really what drives me the most crazy about them. It's like, I get that you wish your person was on screen 100% of the time and you wish that only your person, but like at the end of the day, like they're with the people that make them the happiest. You as a fan should be happy about that, especially when they're still able to do solo stuff. Like they're one of the
Yeah.
few bands where they have a band and solo stuff and they don't let it interrupt. Like they go on each other's concerts, solo concerts. Like they love
Yeah.
each other, which has been wonderful because I think because they're so supportive of each other, it makes it even more frustrating when their fans are fighting with each other. Because it's like they're
Yeah.
best friends. The fans should be best friends instead of you guys fighting with each other. It's wild.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I wonder if that's because of the Netflix documentary and how Jin was like came into it really, really late, and I wonder if that's what maybe spurred that on. But you can see how happy he is. They're all back together,
Yeah,
and like it's really sad when you see when you see people online, even any sort of negativeness. Because that's again, I don't think that's what this fandom is, but
it isn't.
I didn't know about that. I am so new to everything and I haven't found my way into comment sections like that yet. Hopefully I
Yeah,
don't.
it's for
But
the
that's
best to
really
stay out of them.
interesting.
I've been on Threads a lot more lately, so I'm seeing it a lot
Yeah.
more on Threads. Like I'm more on Threads and TikTok. It's also interesting the way Army moves in the different spaces as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely see it a little bit more on Threads. It was partly because of the documentary. It really started because he didn't write on any of the songs, and
Because he
so
came
they
in
were
so
like,
late.
"Oh, it's so devastating for him." But it's crazy because he himself had told us about that on a live prior that he was on tour. And a lot of us, like I mentioned, I was going through a lot during that time. Like, I'm so glad he was on tour and doing the Jin thing. Like, I'm sorry he didn't write, but like he was where a lot of Army needed him at the time. Like, the
Yeah.
guys needed to recover from the military and do their writing camp, and he was busy entertaining us. But like, that's why BTS works. Like they all know their different spots. And it's frustrating, I think, sometimes when fans don't want to acknowledge that. Because he was so tired. But I remember even seeing someone who was like, they should have greeted him and been so happy he arrived. I'm like, they were all there at the door with flowers. What more do you want from them? Like literally
Yeah.
they brought him flowers at the door. I don't know what more you guys think that the band should be doing to show their appreciation. Or like because sometimes people don't look at like the back history of them, they forget that Jin is quiet because you see them on a solo press tour and they're answering all the questions and doing all the talking. But with the group, he's very quiet because he doesn't want to talk. But the solos who haven't realized that are like, oh, he's so miserable. He's so sad. I'm like, no, he's living his best life. He does not like
Yes.
talking in interviews. But it's
Yes.
very interesting seeing new interpretations of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Yeah, all the interpretations that I've seen in things, it's really interesting. I mean, everyone has their own idea of how things look. I don't think we'll ever fully know everything, but from what I have seen, he looks really, really happy.
Super happy.
Yeah,
Do you
and
have
how
a
they all grew.
favorite? Do you have a favorite like friendship or a favorite duo trio? I know the
It's
Butter
so
Trio has been getting a
hard.
lot of attention.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I as I'm diving into all of their variety shows and then the Run BTS and their vlogs or the lives, all the all the things. It's been a lot.
Yeah,
I feel like it changes all the time. I do love seeing the older ones and how they interact with the younger ones
me
and
too.
the brotherly older brother energy and helpfulness, and then it's been also really fun though to see when they get to like be playful together as the older ones and the younger ones.
Yeah,
And the friendships, I've been diving into Are You Sure? It's
yeah.
been a lot because there's 2 seasons and every episode is an hour long.
It's
But
very
those have been
time consuming.
it is, yes, but I love
Yeah,
it. But it's been really cool to see Jimin and Jungkook's, relationship and
yeah.
friendship, through that lens, and then kind of knowing how then they went into the military together, and, like, that's been really cool to see, and I feel like so right now, I think that's my favorite just because I'm going through that,
Yeah.
show.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm very
Mhm.
deep into Jin and Jungkook right now. Like, I've always loved them
Yes.
as like the oldest and the youngest, but like knowing how
Yeah.
much they missed each other and then seeing them together all the time now and just being like goofy and silly, like I'm like, oh
I
my,
know.
that breaks my heart.
My heart.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm also falling to even, like, how they interact on stage together, that
Mhm.
has been so funny to
Yeah.
see, especially, yeah, Jin and
The two of them. And then
Jungkook.
I like when V joins them also. Like the three of
Yes.
them are so funny to me together.
Yes, yes, that's it. When I've gone to a concert now, and so that was, like, the funnest thing is seeing, like, the little tiny moments throughout in
Mhm.
between breaks and what they're supposed to be doing and the moves that they're supposed to be performing when they have little breaks to see how silly and how they interact with one another, but that's been the funniest, those
Now
3.
you mentioned that you're like a big music lover and that you go to concerts and things. So like, how do you like the format at this concert compared to like way more other people do it, where it's normally more like performance, throughout the whole thing. And
Yeah,
BTS is really known for their great performance and being on it. But with this tour, we're definitely seeing a change where half of the concert is very like performance and choreography, and then the other half, maybe not other half, the other like one third of it is more like chill and them having fun and being goofy and like I love it. I love this format. I feel like the first half I'm watching my favorite band perform, and then the last quarter I'm like hanging out with my favorite band at the after show at the after
yeah.
parties, which I love. But like, how do you like it compared to other concerts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big concert person. I've been to so many, like since I was like in high school, I was always saving up to go to concerts locally. And it's been really cool. I mean, I don't know how their concerts were before. I've seen like clips and bits from
Mhm.
other concerts or from other tours that they've done. But this one, I do really like the format of it. I think especially some other bands that I've seen, I do like when we get moments to really, like, be with them. Like,
Yeah.
performing and being on it is, like, so amazing and so fun, but then having, like, moments to really, like, settle down and almost, like, appreciate or, like, live in that moment just a little bit more intentionally and, like, have that breath to just, like, feel like you're connecting with them a little bit more.
Mhm.
I really like it. So, I find the last section is the saddest because it's,
Mhm.
like,
The end.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
but I also really like it 'cause they put on more, like, comfier clothes, and they're like, get to sit and just, like, go around, and everyone gets to sit and talk, and they get to
yeah.
be a little goofy together. Yeah, but I do love and appreciate, um, when the performances are going. I feel like, the first section I went 2 nights,
Mhm.
and, the first section, I was like, "Ah, ah, it's going so fast.
Right.
Boom, 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 boom." And then that last section, it's definitely more slow, and they have little moments where they get to have, like, a break but like the first
Those
two
water breaks are
sections.
killing me, though. I gotta tell you, those water breaks are killing me.
I know.
I'm like, can we ban them from taking sips of water because I like am dying.
I understand. I understand so much. I think if I were on the floor, I think I would panic and freak out. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but I love it. So do you have a prediction for any of the surprise songs this weekend? Because for those who may not know,
Oh.
it's Festa, it's their anniversary, so they're putting on some concerts um, over in Korea this weekend, and they're going to be streaming them live as well. And with all their concerts, they do 2 surprise songs, throwback songs, and I'm curious to see what they will do for this weekend. I have my guesses, but do you have any guesses?
I don't know. I'm so new. I'm like, I don't know what they'll do. I'm really excited to see what, because there was the mention of the solo songs. I was like,
Oh,
I'm
that
very
would be
excited to see.
amazing. I would love
That's
that.
what I heard.
But they
That's what I
keep
heard.
saying that. They said they were going to do that with the concert, and that didn't happen, like the comeback
Oh,
concert. So I take it with a grain of salt if they actually will, but it would be
yeah.
cute if they did. But
Yeah.
for the surprise songs, I feel like everyone went so crazy about Pied Piper. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought it back, which I am
Yeah.
all for, all for. And I
Those are
feel
really
like they're
popular
probably going to
ones.
bring back like one of their like original songs, like Attack of the Bad Town or Louder Than Bombs, like one of their
Yes.
really old ones.
Yes. I
So
think it would
that'll
be
be
cool to
interesting.
see Black Swan. I don't think has anyone gotten that one yet?
I feel like they did have Black Swan. Did they not? You know which one I really want, which I don't know if
What?
they'll do, but I really want is 21st Century Girl. That is my jam.
Ooh.
That is my jam. It's so cheesy, but I love it so much. Do you know that one?
I don't know if I do. Well,
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know.
send you the
The
link.
names. Okay, please do. Well, and it's hard because like as I'm going down the rabbit hole of all the songs, I'm
Yeah.
really trying to take it slow and like learn the lyrics and like the
Yes.
meaning and who wrote it and like what was going on at the time and
Mhm.
then going into their performances of it. So I'm trying to really soak it all in and like take my time, but then
Yeah.
people are like, "Girl, get on it." And I'm
It's
like,
a
"I'm
balance. It's a
trying."
balance because I still have like so many songs. Like because I
Yeah.
don't want like I do want to like learn them and discover them as they come to me because there's something about that. So it's like
Yes.
it's a journey,
Yes.
but I'll send you that one because that one's just so fun. I really love it because they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, you ladies, put your hands up." There's very
Yeah.
like a lot of their songs, especially back in the day, have a lot of like old school hip hop feel to them, which I
Yeah.
enjoy. Which makes sense because like in the beginning, I don't know if you've gotten this far back yet, but before launching or right after they launched, they went to LA and they did their training. So they like worked on lyrics with Warren G. They got trained with Coolio. They learned like beatboxing. Like they really came and went to LA to like learn hip hop. And I feel like that shows in their music where they have more like appreciation than appropriation because they
Mm.
understand the backgrounds of the hip hop. And you hear it in some of their songs, which I enjoy. It makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I have gotten in a little into like the beginning of their careers or as BTS.
Mm.
um, but I don't know if I've gotten through everything, but I've definitely seen like the LA and when they came out here and then the kind of well, I've seen as the algorithm keeps giving me things.
Yeah.
I've seen the little video clips of people talking about how like they started out in this really like hip hop and like how they were dressing and then they had like almost like a kind of a slight change where suddenly they were diving into more of the
Uh,
lyrics and like
mhm.
yeah so I've learned and seen a little bit so
Yeah.
yeah
It's interesting because I feel like with each album, they sort of reinvent them. Not reinvent themselves, but they
yeah
give them a different side of us, which is what I like about K-pop. I like that K-pop is hip hop and pop and blah, blah, blah. And they can
yeah
tap into whatever side of it that they want to. And they do that with different albums, which is why like Wings sounds different than Danger. And that sounds different than like the Love Yourself. Like they all, and that sounds totally different than Airing, like the a current album. But they
yeah
all sound like them, but also very different. But I like it because it shows their growth and change, and it shows like as listeners our growth and change.
Yeah, I love that too. That's why, like, going through the music over the years and slowly, like, I'll pick bits and pieces from different albums and then I'll come back to that album, and then I'll go to this one. And it's cool to see the evolution. And I think that's what's so cool. And as a concert music lover myself, it's really cool to see artists change and like
Mhm.
test out different things. Or for that time, like they really were interested in that and dug their hands into that type of music, or were inspired by this over here. So it's really cool to see. And that's what I feel like you ultimately do want from an artist, is to see
Yeah.
them grow and change. So yeah, it's been really cool to go through all of it.
Well, with the new album, did you, because this is my question, because I was a part tour before I loved the first part of it because I love fun songs, but I'll be honest, I was going through it, going through life. So
Yeah.
the second album, like Merry Go Round and like the more mellow songs were really what called out to me at first. So I would listen to those on repeat. Then I would kind of listen to the front part. Now I listen to all of it all the time. But did you have that? Like, were you into one part more than the other part at first, or have you been the whole album throughout?
I mean, I love playing an album like all the way through, because I think it's an art form of how people, like, they have choices on why they put this song here or
Yes,
there.
I love stuff like
Um
that.
yeah, but so I've been listening to it all the way through every time, but I feel like me as music, like I love rock music. I love hip hop. I love
Mm,
alternative. I love, bluegrass. Like I'm kind of everywhere and all the time. So every day I feel like some days I'm like, I want to listen to the first part.
yeah,
There are
yeah,
songs I want to listen to this day. And then there are days where I'm like, and I'm feeling just really slow and mellow, and I would like to listen to Swim
yeah,
and Merry
yeah.
Go Round. Yeah. So I feel like depending on the day, it depends. But I do love a good banger. I do
Yeah.
love.
Yes, lots of fun. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This has been really fun chatting. I love chatting with Army, especially new Army, and I love seeing, like I said, your journey. Could you tell everybody how to find you if they want to join in and see your journey as well?
Yes, right now I'm only on Instagram. I think TikTok kind of scares me sometimes. But you can find me on Instagram is my main platform. Maybe one day I'll get into TikTok, or people are asking for YouTube, so maybe that will be just right
Mm,
around the corner. Who knows what's in
yeah,
store for me?
yeah.
But my Instagram is Barley and Birdie's Library, because I'm a bookstagrammer. That's how this all started. But yes, that's my handle. Um, yeah, and that's how you can find me. But maybe I'll be in other places soon. I don't know.
Maybe. And I love that the guys love reading. So that's always like I
I
follow a
know.
page that always like tracks RM's books and gives like
Yes.
recommendations of it. So I love that. So I
You
love that.
should send that my way, because
I
I've been
will.
trying to get into, like, I'm like, I actually do want to read books that, and there are some books I've read that RM does also really enjoy and love and
Mhm.
recommend. But I want to start getting into them more to kind of
Yeah,
understand like where the inspiration, or what kind of has been inspiring their music. But send me that information, because
I
I'm
will.
already getting books from the library
All right. Yes, I will
that
look
he's
for that and send
recommended.
them. Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for joining me. It's been fun chatting. I'm sure I'll see you on Instagram. But thank you everybody who has joined as well. This is going to be, you can catch it on YouTube or on Facebook at any time. And I'll be back next week with another fun guest. Have a great day, everyone.
Awesome.